Almost everybody knows Roger Federer, the tennis player, but few people know Roger Federer, the social entrepreneur, who started his own foundation in 2003.
Well, we're reaching our 8th year now. We're shy just a couple of days of our 8th year in philanthropy. So obviously I've learned a lot, but I'm still learning, of course. I've had a very interesting time in the very beginning setting up the foundation, taking charge in a way, of trying to be very precise in what I want to support in terms of education, kids in Africa, also include sports to it, and so forth. So that was for me a big step. And then obviously every step of the way, trying to generate more money, raise awareness, get the right team around me together, so we can take a step-by-step approach and always improve and be very critical also to ourselves, how we can also just be the best foundation we can be.
This modest profile suddenly got much higher on December 21st in Zurich. That's when the Roger Federer Foundation made a sudden impact on a very large audience. The match for Africa was unique. The first time the world's two best tennis players met in Switzerland. And it was a milestone. The match helped raise over 2.5 million Swiss francs for children in Africa.
It's the biggest single event that we have done from a foundation standpoint. Again, not only from a raising finances, but also from awareness. It'll be shown all around the world, different countries in Asia, in the United States, North America, South America, obviously throughout Europe. So we have an amazing opportunity, and certainly we will raise a lot of money for Roger's Foundation, and it's not just Roger giving his time and playing with Rafa, but it's also the people who are actually buying the tickets to show up in the Hallenstadion.
The day before the match, Credit Suisse invited Roger Federer, who has been official ambassador of the bank since November 2009, to take part in a philanthropy roundtable. Roger Federer was one of 3 participants. Together they spanned the spectrum of philanthropy. A top tennis player, the head of development of one of the oldest microfinance organizations, and the executive director of a foundation that brings solar energy to the poor of the world. In spite of their diverse backgrounds, they all engage with venture philanthropy in some way.
So what venture philanthropy adds is the entrepreneurial part. So all these institutions and foundations who go the way of venture philanthropy see themselves as true social entrepreneurs. They want to make an impact not just in a passive way, but they want to take ownership about the projects they support, make them successful. They act as entrepreneurs.
Peter Heller supports activist celebrities as important players who tackle philanthropy in a practical way, like Roger Federer.
The interesting thing is that he joins an event and in this way he joins a movement which goes from traditional charity to venture philanthropy on to impact investment. So he's already made another step forward where we see that there is a world of taking risks, entrepreneurial risks, investing social capital in projects which requires much more than just writing a check. It's about going out there, as he explained to us, doing field trips in Africa and looking what goes well and what doesn't work.
As more people become social entrepreneurs, they close the gap between benevolence and business. Microfinance expert Roy Jacobowitz is convinced that philanthropy, like any good investment, has the potential for profit.
The thing that is remarkable about microfinance is its ability to operate in a business-like manner and yet also achieve social purpose. And in the early stages of microfinance, philanthropy and charity is absolutely needed in order to build up the programs. But the miracle of microfinance is that it can be financially self-sustaining, it can achieve large scale, and in this way help to relieve the poverty of millions, and in fact hundreds of millions of people worldwide.
Since its origins in the early 80s, microfinance has seen an incredible development.
The largest difference is reaching scale. When I began 16 years ago, the entire industry was only reaching 5 million people. Today, over 150 million people, poor people worldwide, have access to some kind of microfinance. Second was actually achieving this financial self-sustainability, building institutions that can become permanent sources of high-quality financial services for poor people. And third, I think, was the fact that we could bring commercial investors to become interested in this activity and successfully bring them in and maintain a social effort that would also be attractive to investors worldwide.
As business opportunities in philanthropy multiply, the appetite for investment in this field grows.
Specifically in Switzerland and in Europe as a whole, we have seen a tremendous increase in questions and in demand for specific products across or among the topic of philanthropy. I really believe that the topic has been big in the US specifically, and it was a little bit less of a topic in Europe, but during the past 2, 3, 5 years there has been significant growth.
But how do philanthropic institutions view the role of a global financial player in the field of social responsibility?
Well, I think there's plenty of space for an internationally distinguished bank in supporting the sector both by providing capital, informing their clients about the opportunities to invest in venture philanthropic institutions, foundations, projects, and as well in supporting us with the expertise that a bank like Credit Suisse has in hedging risks. There's an important part where all the knowledge and know-how you have is extremely useful for us to run our projects well.
Not every commitment to philanthropy produces a financial return. However, they all have intangible benefits, as Roger Federer emphasizes.
Well, just a good memory seeing that the help I'm giving to the project in Ethiopia is really also working, that the kids have a place really to go to school, that the schools we have renovated are there, the fountain we created for them is there too, the kids are doing sports and so forth. So I take back great memories from happy children to see me, to maybe also have a face to someone who supports their project, and I hope to go back soon, of course.